Yeah, in my artistic process, because I'm a very bold person, I'm a bold artist, I'm a bold storyteller, I often speak about reproductive health and menstruation. I remember a time when I posted photos of the sanitary pads that I keep in my house, and it created a lot of backlash on social media here. But what was interesting is not only was I being bullied by men, I was also being bullied by women for storing sanitary pads in my house. But then what that showed us is we still have a lot of shame about these things, right? Women think, or many women feel, this is only a women's issue, and men feel that's not something we are supposed to get into. But then when we start thinking that we are living with each other, in nearly every space we go, we are living with each other. And it's only important and it's going to be healthy for society if we understand each other's issues, if we are available for one another in terms of need. So for me, I think more artists need to be bolder to get into these difficult conversations because our culture needs it, our society needs it, if only we dream to be progressive as we purport to want to be.
I feel like there's a gift in art, and this gift is breaking down complex things into personalized languages that can be understood. I feel like this is why we have people relating to music in a different language that you don't understand, but you get it because the emotions in the music relates to you. So I feel like art can do the same too in menstrual hygiene conversation. Depends on the different forms, whether it's poetry, music, just break down this complex thing that is menstruation or menstrual hygiene into a language that can be understood with the different audiences. So if the audience is going to be people in the village, so to understand what do they relate to. Like if you go back to my home, Busia, we love food. Food is part of our DNA. How can you include food in that conversation? Because we'll get it so fast. So if you go to a different area, maybe there's a different thing that relates to them. Yeah, I feel like that's how we can use art to break down this conversation. Yeah.
Art can challenge these negative views by not being afraid of getting into these hard topics, you know, by going straight into the fire, by inviting people and telling them this is actually important to all of us. It's not just a women's issue, it's important to the whole society because when a woman does not feel healthy and she doesn't feel safe, half the world won't be okay, right? And so if we start looking at it from the larger perspective, then we realize actually all of us have to be involved in these conversations because if I remain passive just because I'm a man, then it actually puts my household, my family in jeopardy because I have women around me. I do have sisters around me. I am dating women. I am interacting with women in my day-to-day life. So if I care about my health, I have to care about women's health.
Knowledge being crucial in terms of the right people to tell us these things, these conversations where it's starting from home. Because I know some girls are are given this talk by their parents, maybe their moms. But you know, even as the sons, we also need to be in these conversations so that at least we know how do I take care of my sister in case she's in this scenario. Because I've seen there are some women who experience really painful cramps and where they cannot even move. So in such a scenario, if I'm the one in the house with her and I don't know what to explain, it will be so easy for me to go and say she has been possessed. There's something wrong with her spiritually. She needs to be prayed for because I don't understand. Yeah.
Yes, I include menstrual education in my work, being that it's a very personal experience, of course, that affects everybody around us. And one of the reasons I do that is because it's very important, at least to me, that as many people as possible understand why we have to know about menstrual health, why we must all get involved in this conversation. Because if one person is affected in our community, all of us are affected, right? And when you multiply that number, then you realize just the magnitude of of the conversation. So I'm very intentional with inculcating menstrual health and reproductive rights work in my art, for example, just because I care about my community, I care about the people around me. And even though, for example, I'm a man, traditionally, these are not conversations that, we are known to be involved with. But then it is also a lesson to other men that for the longest time we've been passive about this conversation, but it's high time we start getting involved, because if we want to see a better world, we really have to care about this.
It's such a crucial thing because we are learning to take care of each other. Yeah. We are in a society. Society is not only made of women, it's not only made of men. And for us to call ourselves a progressive or working society, there has to be that a collaboration where you do this, I do this. Like, for instance, right now, the conversation in even a household where it's becoming normal for people to say a man can wash the dishes in the house and there's the woman there. A man can do laundry. The same way, it has to be common in all these other aspects where I'm like, let me understand what's going on with your body. And that's also another part of, I think, love, because that's showing you're caring. And with that, you can be able to help the other person. And also for yourself, you can be able to empathize and understand when the other person is in this mood, or when they're not feeling okay, you're able to understand, okay, this is what they're going through. So let me tone down. Let me not talk to them in a certain way, or let me do this for them so that I'm not there expecting you to come and do all these chores, but you're also not feeling well. So this conversation is very crucial, and I think it should be had not only in the household but also in the churches, all these places of influence. This conversation should be had so that we are not only saving our women but also ourselves, because there's something different that happens when you can understand what's happened to that other person. It also changes how you're viewing them, and you also get to understand them more, and that also helps in your relationships. Yeah.
Being a man who was born in Africa, I might have been taught that menstruation is only a women's issue. But from my own experience, it's a community issue. All of us have to get involved in understanding, giving a helping hand, accommodating menstrual hygiene awareness, menstrual education, just because girls and women need us, because all of us are part of a community that we love, and all of us want to see each other thrive. So, especially for the men, let's get in here.